Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, back in The Walking Dead Season 8, there was sort of a controversial main character death, and that was the death of Carl Grimes. Carl Grimes was the son of Rick Grimes, and in The Walking Dead comics, Carl Grimes is sort of this legacy character that you feel like Rick's going to die, and then Carl's going to become the main character. And to be fair, that kind of happened, but right when Rick died and Carl became the main character, the comics ended. But you always had that sense of Carl eventually sort of taking over after Rick died. And I think The Walking Dead show tried to have the same thing. But, you know, me personally, I never really liked Carl that much. He wasn't really one of my favorite characters. And I figured eventually, same as the comics, Rick would die and Carl would take over. And I just really wasn't the biggest fan of that because I felt like Chandler Riggs just wasn't anywhere near as good as Andrew Lincoln, and he would never work as a leading man for The Walking Dead. So I was kind of happy when Carl got killed off in Season 8. I mean, as far as the main character goes, other than the fact that he's supposed to be this big legacy type character, he had a good run, you know, 8 seasons. I imagine the actor is comfortable, has a decent amount of money. I just never really thought his performance was that great. He had moments where he was good. He had moments where I didn't think he was that good. I felt like the actor was kind of phoning it in. And to be fair, he has publicly admitted this in interviews that because he was in high school and college, his performance suffered because he was focusing on school. He's admitted that his performance wasn't always great, and he didn't always really push himself to give a good performance. And there was some controversy. There was a lot of controversy after Carl was killed off. Apparently, the actor was only told he was dying a few episodes before his death, which, to be fair, that happens with most actors on The Walking Dead. They're not told super long ahead of time. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they realize they die when they read the script with their death in it. But apparently, his dad was really angry about that, was really upset. His dad said a few things against Scott Gimple a few years ago because his son was 17 years old and Scott Gimple like tricked him and lied to him, and he had all these plans to stay on The Walking Dead, and then Scott just killed him off out of nowhere. And Chandler Riggs said a few things about how it sucked that he was killed off, and apparently some fans really kind of read a lot into what Chandler said, and they thought that Chandler Riggs was mad at Scott Gimple. But in an interview, in a recent interview, Chandler Riggs clarified that he's not mad at Scott Gimple, he's not upset at Scott Gimple, and that he's okay with Carl dying. But this is what he says. I've publicly said a couple of things about Scott Gimple on Twitter, but it's been completely friendly and not aggressively at all. I never take my social media seriously, ever. Everything is a joke 99% of the time. If I'm ever serious on social media, I say that I'm serious. And it's weird for me to be serious on social media. So everything is always very friendly and fun. So basically, he's just saying that he's not mad at Scott Gimple, he's not angry that he got killed off, that some of the things he said were taken out of context. So, you know, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't really hold anything against the guy. Like I said, Carl was never one of my favorites, and I always thought that Chandler's performance was weak in a lot of places. Like I said, he had moments where he was good, but he had moments where it just seemed like he was really phoning it in, and it was just barely trying. And I wasn't really against him getting killed off because I kind of felt like, you know, if you're going to constantly kill characters off, yeah, every once in a while lose some dead weight, you know, might as well. So I really wasn't against it. But as far as Chandler Riggs as a person, he seems really nice and really cool and laid back, and I think he's a good person. I like him as a person. I just never really liked his performance that much, and I never liked Carl that much. But I understand what he's saying about how he had to focus on school and it affected his performance. You know, I don't blame him. I think it's impressive that he was on The Walking Dead at a young age, and he still wanted to go to college. I mean, he's got to be rich, right? I mean, I don't know what he got paid per episode, but he still wanted to get a college degree. I appreciate that. I respect that, and it is hard to sort of balance those two things, a job and college. And a lot of people that are child stars, you know, they don't end up doing very well. They get addicted to drugs, they go crazy, they die. Considering Chandler Riggs has been an actor since he was like 8 years old, he's turned out pretty well. He seems like a really chill, relaxed guy. So I'm not against him, and I never really had a problem with anything he has said. So when it comes down to it, I'm glad that Carl's dead. I'm glad that Carl got killed off. I think in season 8, it was either him or Morgan. And I definitely did not want it to be Morgan. So I'm cool with Carl's death. And Chandler Riggs as a person, he seems fine to me. Whatever he said about Scott Gimple, I'm sure it was taken out of context. And I don't think he's a bad person. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now I am at 638 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 700 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 700. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.